The Miscellaneous Podcast, Episode 6.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Miscellaneous Podcast. I got recognized. You already know who he is. But now I got my little brother, Mr. Juan, a.k.a. the Cypher, a.k.a. my little brother. How you guys been, man?
Chilling, just relaxing, trying to figure out how to start up this computer.
And you guys are at my brother's house, right?
Yeah,
You guys
right
are
at your
at my
brother's
brother's
house.
house?
Yeah. We were waiting for you to show up, bro. I had ideas. I was like, all right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But I was like, nah, he can't make it.
Damn. So what's new, man? What you got going on since last time you were on?
For me, I was supposed to go to San Diego. You know, I'm a traveler a lot, but I couldn't make it. Due to pre-made plans. And then I actually had to make it here to Phoenix. Me and your brother here plan on doing a little open mic. Not sure exactly where yet. I want to promote where it's at, but we're not even sure because we have like 3 different to pick from. And we're still working on recording one or two more songs that we're gonna wrap up with. We might end up just doing 3 songs, but we wanted to make like a little party banger as well to send it all off so people can remember us afterwards, and then promote the SoundClouds and whatever. But we're still working on that. There's still plenty of time for us to get there. But yeah, I'm right here in Phoenix, in the capital, with your brother right here, just chilling. He got a new program. What you should buy?
I just bought a keyboard that's a drum kit. An 8K, I don't even know where I left it. It's an 8K drum kit. It's like a brand new freaking drum kit, and I'm just trying to figure out how to install it onto the computer. But I haven't installed it on the computer for so long. I don't even know the little marketplace you got. I'm all looking for the little business. But yeah, fucking hopefully soon we can finally start making our own beats and finally be able to put it on Spotify and shit because we'll have our own rights to the beats.
Been a long time coming too.
Yeah.
Coming.
I saw that you got some new ink.
Oh yeah, I got me a little Friday the 13th. I got a skull with a little Christmas hat, and then I got the little Simba retat in.
In the part of the old like '90s movie, the part where they think Simba's dead, and then and Rafiki's like, Simba's alive. Like how?
Yeah, he's alive.
Simba. Yeah.
So yeah, that market he got that, and it's pretty sick. And then that works really fast.
Yeah, keep them like 20 minutes.
That's a Savage Ali.
Yo,
she's mobile. She'll come to your house.
You know what's funny though? Every time my mom asked Squad if he got a new tattoo, he always said, no, it's the same ones. Every time. He's like, no, it's the same ones. It's the same ones. I'm like, well, he has like 3 new ones. He's like, oh, no, the same. It's hilarious. But I thought you guys were going to get matching tattoos.
That was a great idea. Go ahead, Sal.
Yeah, I told we were gonna get matching tattoos. Like he was gonna get the bitten hot dog, and I was gonna get the full hot dog. Just because there's
why?
Did you ever tell that story?
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Shit. But we're already jumping into like he's making like beats, whatever. We haven't even known when he started making music. Like, what's your rap name? All that.
Oh shit!
You want to catch him up? Give him some peace.
So, as y'all know, my name is Juan, but I also go by l7e. I'm part of a multimedia production.
So he did.
Got funny excuses.
What the fuck?
I'm having connection issues. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. It's in there.
Mic check.
That's because we communicated like so far away.
Hey, you guys are back.
It was funny, bro. We had hopped back in like a couple of times, and you're singing and you're like, Tengo ganas de tomar, and then it paused right there, and it just kept looping. We fucking died over here laughing, bro. We're over here dying laughing. Like, you can't hear us, bro. We're talking to you. Yo, you're over here like, fucking going full Lupillo Rivero right here.
Fuck.
I went back and tried to download the program. We're back at it like an addict. Come on.
So like I was saying, I can't even say serious no more.
That
Yeah,
shit
start
was
from the
fucking.
beginning because I'm gonna cut that whole part.
Yeah, the funny. Alright, so my name is
No. I'm gonna
Juan.
cut the part. Just start saying, "Hola, soy Juan."
Alright, so my name is Juan. And what else I go by? I also go by alias Zaper. I'm part of the team that Rich was talking about, the multimedia. I already forgot to say production. The day bangers all day. That's all we do. Um, we've always been working on music for a while. It's just kind of like our stress relief and just for fun. Like when we work with new artists that have been doing it for years and they see us work, they're always like, "Bro, like you guys know how to work. Like you guys don't get paid for this shit." Like kind of vibe and it's funny, but it's like we do it for fun. But recently, like I was saying earlier, I got a kit, the drum kit, so we're gonna finally be able to make our own instruments, and from there we're gonna be able to put it on Spotify and promote our shit properly without being like sued or take this shit down type of vibe, because it's gonna be all our own ideas and stuff. Because we've had multiple ideas. We have Bro, if we had vinyls like back in the days, we would have crates of music, bro. Like we have thumb drives of music, you know. Like, but our shit so far, what we think is pretty timeless. And we all have different styles. Richie, he's kind of just, he just goes all around. I go all around too, but I'm more like laid back, like lo-fi, relaxed. Shamu's more. What is it, that rave thing that
He recently got into dark wave.
Dark Wave, yeah, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys heard Dark Wave, but that's pretty metal stuff, like some emo kind of like merry go round. Yeah, like I don't know, like some pretty cool stuff. It was pretty cool. Uh
Last time we had people who were just new here that showed up and watched us record. What was the response?
Speechless. Right? Jaw dropped like the Grand Canyon. Yeah. But yeah, they were fucking speechless. They're speechless, bro. Because like I said earlier, they're just like, "Well, you guys don't class. You guys don't know how to work. Like, oh, you guys do this. Like, oh, you guys don't even look like rappers. Like, wow." I just was telling them that I got in an argument. Not really an argument, more because this guy's kind of rushing me to write lyrics for him and to make a song and this and that. And I'm just like, bro, I'm an artist, bro. Like, you gotta chill, trust the process. Like, I can't do that. And he just kept trying to be like, well, I got friends that could do like 3, 4 songs within an hour, 2 hours, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool enough, but I don't know, like I don't work like that. And that kind of motivated me. That's why I kind of got my own beat, because I'm kind of like, you know what, like I was going to him so I could learn more, but all he's kind of teaching me is to go faster, which I'm like, I don't want to move fast. I want to have fun and take my time with it. And, like I get it if I was getting paid and I had a fucking like a date that I needed to do. Like this shit needs to be done on the 25th of December. This is a Christmas album type shit. I would get that, but I don't know. Like I'm gonna have fun with this shit. So I was just like, you know what? I talked to Rich. I was like, I'm going to Guitar Center, bro. Like I'm just gonna fucking go get this shit and fuck it. I'm gonna put it on my credit card and next check I'm gonna pay it off. And that's what I really gonna do. That's really gonna
Hey, yeah, that's good though. I mean, it's gonna, like you said, allow you to make your own beats, but it's also gonna probably bring out a little more of a creative side. More of a be able to get yourself out that box, like out the norm, and probably create something that's your own, like your own style. Because now it's all gonna be coming off the top of your head. Like it's all gonna be coming out of like, man, maybe I'm gonna add this like snare here or like this like low key here, create something totally different. And I think that that's something that, like you said, you get the ability to try to do it at your the way that you like to do it, and you like to, you want to have fun with it, and you want to be able to be like, yo, this is kind of like what Juan is about. This is what I'm about, and then like kind of help your music probably too. It probably help your music too, because now you're gonna be like, okay, I have a song. I want it to kind of go like this, and my lyrics are gonna fit like this. So I think all in all, it's gonna actually help your creative side more. Um, and also like maybe bring something else different to your guys' thing. But weren't you guys called like Blue Spot Laboratory before? What happened to that?
Back in the case, before you get to that, what is your process when you make a song? And we'll come back to the
I
dilemma.
just freestyle,
How
bro.
do
I
you
just
know?
go, oh, once. Oh.
Go for it.
Yeah, so my process. So the process that I do, I normally just go by beat until I finally feel one. Sometimes it depends. Richie's really good at that shit. Because sometimes I go up to him and I'll be like, "Hey, Richie, I feel like this kind of way, this type of way, but with a little bit of this," and he'll be like this, and he already knows what kind of beat I want, so it's just easier to ask Richie sometimes. But writing process, once I feel the beat, normally I try to come up with a bar first, and depending on what bar I come up with, I go from there. Because sometimes I come with a bar that's a hook, so I'll make the hook first, and then I'll write the lyrics. But lately, because I'll be honest, I'm more of a feature artist because I got a lot of features more than singles. So lately, I've been fucking writing lyrics at the same time, like hooks and lyrics at the same time. Because the last person I worked with was Savannah. She had like a song with like 40 bars. She was writing bar after bar, and I was still working on the hook, so I had to hop over at the lyrics and go back and forth, work on the hook and lyrics at the same time, which was kind of hard, but I'm starting to get used to it now. So that's the way I'm starting to write my shit, like hook and lyrics at the same time. And then I practice it and I edit it while I'm freestyling. So I'm basically somewhat still freestyling while I'm recording it because I've noticed when I'm recording, my fucking head, my dyslexia, let's say.
Oh,
Richie knows what I'm
lost
talking about.
connection
My
again.
fucking dyslexia fucks me up a lot, but sometimes it works because I'll be saying like, "Oh, that sounds way better than what I wrote," so I'm like changing it up. Then
I, I lost you guys again. Um, hello. There you go. You're back.
We're gonna try with just my network, my team, Metro PCS network. Hopefully it does better. Hopefully we're not gonna have that issue. Where did he leave off? Where did you cut off?
Said in a way he still kind of freestyles when
oh
he's
yeah,
writing.
that's way better.
Yeah, fuck.
That's way better. No, so I kind of freestyle because as I'm writing, like I have the lyrics in my hand, beat going, I'm rapping, but he knows that I have like some kind of dyslexia or ADHD, something going on with my brain that won't let me read what I wrote. So I'm going like, as the world keeps returning, we all live and learn, and then all of a sudden it's like I didn't write that, but that sounded way better. So I'm kind of like fixing it as I'm going. So I'm constantly in a state of editing as I go. And then when I hear the songs and I fucking record it, I'm like, how'd I come up with that shit? Is this like it's just because I'm constantly going as I go. So I feel like my verses are never finished. That's how I feel. Like my verses are never finished because they're all just freestyle. And I reach the end and I'm like, fuck, I guess I got one more bar. Let's just fucking put this real quick. And then it fits. And I'm like, cool, fuck it goes. It's a banger anyway. Like, yeah, he went hard. I'm like, did that make sense? Because I always ask for his approval for the lyrics if it makes sense. Not how they flow or anything. It's like, does it make sense? Like what was the one I told you last something about like I glide like a butterfly, like buttery doors or something like butterfly doors, and I was talking about a car so clean like a butterfly doors with 24 rims, and I was like, does that make sense to you? He's like, yeah. All right, bet.
And we're going.
Yeah, keep going to the next block. But that's my kind of process of doing it. I kind of write now I do like and the lyrics at the same time as I go.
Which is a huge difference from the way I approach it, where I'm just like the beat. tells me I advocate for the beat. The beat gives me the emotion, and I write lyrics towards that process to like also have my listener have the emotion. So I have like that's why what is that? That's why I don't have as much. Oh, that's why I don't have as much like stuck points. Like I don't get stuck like writer's block because I just think of the way I do is I make like an idea page, a bunch of just ideas of things that fit with that emotion, a bunch of ideas that just fit with that, and then I start structuring my verse with those ideas. So my verse is always, which is congruent to the emotion I'm trying to convey. So the verse is always structured that way. Then on top of that, the cadence of how I'm going to say it to add another melody to the beat, the way I stand out type style. But back in the day when we were like much younger, going back to our record label names and stuff like that, um, we grew up like around like the times of like Bad Boy Records and like yeah, all the people were like trying out their labels and stuff like that. Oh, Death Row, whatever type stuff.
Yeah,
all
that
kinds of
that's
things.
one of the things. That's one of the things I didn't get from Juan, like, because we got Rich, we got mine, and Luis in there. But before we continue, like, what are some of the artists that you grew up like? Yo, I wanna like your favorite artist, I guess.
I'm just kidding. Uh, I'm kind of vague with everybody from like R&B to hip hop. Because I noticed when I was more younger, I listened to more like Boys to Men, B2K, NB Ryder. But once when I got older, I started listening to like Tech Nine, Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, uh, LL Cool J, Joey Cool. But now I listen to like I don't even listen to rap anymore. I listen to like Steve Aoki, Bro Hug, like just techno. Just basically just beats. So like I don't even listen to mainstream because I don't even like what the hell they make. I listen to a lot of underground like Snow the Product, fucking um Bratcher, whatever her name is. So fucking there's a bunch of people, but this just like the top of my head that I can think of.
As far as for me, like I said last time, was I grew up mostly again with mostly hip hop. My brother went off to rock music, and I started listening to that. It was when it came more into like the heavy metal or the metal type style. Wasn't really my style, but what gave me that kind of energy was earlier artists like DMX back in the '90s. Even to like newer artists like Waka Flocka and like Takashi Tech Nine. Even though I don't like them personally, I really don't know them that well. But their music, I could throw it on and it'll still give me hype, and I want to hit a punching bag or go to the gym. One person that I wanted to shout out that I didn't get to shout out last time was an underground battle rapper named Reed Dallas. And if you're in the underground scene, like you would know who he is. So you could see where the KID influences came from because of the DMX and everyone's having the raspy voice. And again, me thinking I have a thinner voice when I record, doing that raspiness set me apart. One quote that Tech Nine said that his dad told him, or his stepdad told him, he's like, "You're trying to be a rapper like everyone else, but what sets you apart?" And that's where the red hair came from. Well, what set me apart was that voice, and I just basically used that. But that's who we listened to growing up. Did you want to add your list or go to the our label stuff?
No, I gave my list already of who I did, and I told you guys as I got older, I started listening to more of like the older stuff, just because I originate more with it, but I do like how nowadays it's more of a beat. Like when we're working on that song, I'm kind of like with you, like I gotta feed off of the melody. Like and so when we're working on that work song, like I would try to catch the melody, and then that's how I was like, oh, at this, at that. I'm more of that type of person that I can come up with stuff on the spot, but if the melody's fire, like I don't know, like I go based off of melody, rhythm, flow. If not, I'm just gonna just start spitting, blah 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 blah, you know. Um, but like I said, I've always liked like good melodies. I guess you could say like a good cadence, a good flow. I think that's why like when I started listening to like Tech Nine, I was like his cadence is crazy. You know, like I think he has one of the best cadences. Um, and I think that's what sets him apart is those cadences. But Like I said, I think for me, it's always gonna originate back to like all the older people that I grew up with. Obviously, like Eminem's one of my favorites, just because that dude bends the words. He's like a word bender. You know what I'm saying? Like those words don't rhyme, but he bends them, and you're like, holy shit! Like it makes sense. Um, so that's kind of like my thing. But yeah, like I said, I want to get back to you guys and your guys' label because it was called Blue Spot Laboratory. Um, I think that's what you guys called it. But what other labels do you guys have, or what other things have you guys like
So
changed
I
up?
think it start. So I think it started off with me and Shamu. We found he found the wordplay of murder spelled backward was red rum. So he's like he thought that I'm gonna call my label Red Rum Zone. So growing up, we were basically in gang related areas, like gang places, and he wore the red because that was the color in our neighborhood. Me thinking to myself, I think ahead of time. I was like, none of these motherfuckers that I see here are doing anything that I want to do. Like, why would I want to get influence from them? Why do I want to follow them? I ended up wearing blue to the point where like one of the people, the OGs from them, they're like, "Hey, your brother wears a lot of blue. Like, we don't like that in our neighborhood, you know." And luckily, Shamu, he told me the story. He vouched for me, and he was like, "He's not getting related, bro. He just doesn't want to be involved in all this." Basically, something along those lines. But like, insert like urbanomics in some kind of way of this saying it, like, nah, that full mob, whatever, how you say that shit. But anyways, um, so for me, being like against, like an anti, like not wanting to be involved, I had the blue spot laboratory because my room was blue. You guys been in my room. My room is still blue. Like I did my interviews in my room, It's still blue. The blue spot laboratory because the laboratory is where you test and create and dissect stuff and whatever, which is what we do with our music. Like we're so experimental in different genres. We're like it's like a laboratory. So it was the blue spot laboratory. Then we were like influencing Juan over here. He made his own stuff, which was
LAP. Run some lap on you, motherfuckers. So yeah, mine was LAP. That's one of the reasons because I was like, you could run laps on these foods like all the time. We could just go round and round. Because like we said earlier, people come and work with us. They're like, damn, you guys work fast. Like y'all did a whole song in 30, 20 minutes. Like we ain't never seen that shit. Normally people are in the studio all fucking night with one song. Like, nah, bro, we gotta make songs. So that was one of the reasons. But what it stands for, it stands for Liquid Alias Production. Liquid is because it's the liquid that we need as to survive, like water. Obviously, we need water to survive. Alias because I had a lot of different styles, a lot of different things, a lot of different people from gangsters to nerds to rats to Mexicans to Latin rap to Chicano. So alias for different styles. And production is just because we produce this shit. Not like we fucking do this shit for real, for real. But that's why those are the two reasons. That's what it stands for, and LAP is LAP. So that's the reason, same reason, because we just wanted to make our own thing. And then BAB is just when we all get together. That's just all of us together. That's just
and it's more than just him, Shamu, me. It's like there's Jonesy has his own thing. We have another cousin, JJJK. Just someone else, Tango freestyler, and just a bunch of artists that we include in this, And it's like a big old super group, and we all basically can do the same thing. If we come here, we can record here. We're over the on some parts of Tucson. I could always have someone to record because we all basically connect and record. But that's how we that's how we basically made a whole entire group right there. From music videos to shows to making music and everything in between.
yeah, now we gotta work on the promoting. I gotta get better at that. I've been slacking, I'll be honest, yeah, but I want to work more on the beats now. So I'm sure I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna be I in there like swimwear.
But all right, so you ready for the hot dog story?
All right, so yeah, like I
Yeah,
was
so
saying,
tell everybody the hot dogs.
All right, here's the debut of the hot dog story that people keep hearing about, and let's go. Let's get it.
so we're about like we're
Before
young.
before you tell the story, this is Rich's Favorite story of all time.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But it's a great story. Go for it. See? You see? This is my favorite part right here. This book, how do you tell a story? Like,
Good. We're fucking.
you see?
She's just funny, bro.
That's fucked up. That's what it is.
That's why, cause like when I started tattoo idea, I wanted him to get the bit in because I did his hot dog, and I wanted to get the full hot dog because of the hot dog I could have got.
What? Okay, let's just start from the beginning. So me and him, like we're on summer vacation. It's like late summer of like I don't know, like the late '90s, and we're
Jump in the jungle.
oh, you remember the movie? I was gonna ask, what movie did we go see? But he remembers. See, that's how he remembers. See, so George of the Jungle was in one of the secondary movies in the secondary movie theaters. Basically, like they show older movies, not like the one that just came out recently.
The
It would be
here in Phoenix, they call them the silver dollar movie. Just an idea. If you were to know, which is like the same. They, like when a movie's out for like 2-3 weeks, they put it for like cheaper price.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's an idea. Just to
yeah. So like George of the Jungle came out in the late '90s, and after some time later in the late '90s, we went to one of those movie theaters, and my dad took me. At the time, I was landscaping with my dad. So we were working. He took us to the movie theaters. So we buy the tickets. George of the Jungle, great movie by the way. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. On top of that, this fucking guy. Um, so, so we're at the we're at the concession stand, right? And my dad says, "Get whatever you guys want." Okay, so I don't know what Juan gets. I forget. He gets some kind of candies or whatever. Yeah, he got candy and a drink. I got candy, drink, and I got a hot dog. Okay, this hot dog was on the roller, and when you're walking past these hot dog rollers, you could smell the hot dogs, so they were they were fire. So you get the hot dogs, I get all the condiments, everything I want, and we go into the theater and we sit down. We sit. You can't hear me snickering over here. He's fucking laughing. You guys can't hear him. He's snickering. That's why he's pausing. He's over here just laughing and shit. So anyway, I don't want. So he's telling crying. He's got tears. We got tears. So we sit down. It's like Juan's on my left. I'm on the right. My dad's on my right. I pull out the hot dog, which smells amazing. Like imagine like a bratwurst when you do, it smells really really good. Well, it's at that level with the hot dog. And I see him he's going to his candy, and we're like going to little ads, little trailers and commercials before the movie starts and everything. And I get the hot dog and I put all the works on it, everything, all the condiments, all the works that make it like amazing, and it smells amazing. And then from the corner of my eye, I see this fool looking at me.
smell it.
That's what I would. That's what I should have known. That's probably what I should have known. So I got it all prepped, ready to go. It's looking at me. I'm looking at it, and it's about to go down. And I bring the hot dog up, and it's fool still looking at me. That's when I hear those fucking traumatic ass words. He
You get a bite.
said, you get a bite. And I'm like, it's like up inching closer to my face. And I look to my left. Nigga, bro, that's the closest I get to a little brother. And I'm like, oh man, it hurt, but I was like, fuck it, it's just a bite. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's got me, you know, whatever. I give him the hot dog, all prep with the works, and I'm already hurt inside. This fool gets the hot dog. This
I
fool,
just been watching. We're playing Nintendo 64 with the fucking liquor time.
what the fuck?
That's what I was thinking about.
This fool bites. In one bite, takes half of the fucking hot dog is gone, bro. And I was like, he tried to get back to me, and I'm watching this happen in front of my face. That's, that's crazy. It's fucking hot dog, bro. So we're right there looking, and he tries to get it back to me, and I'm like, motherfucker, like you said a bite, half my hot dog is gone. You can imagine. He's trying to justify himself and he can't even fucking talk. So you can imagine, I'm livid, I'm fucking pissed. I'm like, bro, half my hot dog was gone. Until this day, that's been known as the hot dog story, bro.
You guys should change your tattoo to "Let me get a bite."
Uh, That's what I'm saying. That would be the description of the tattoo. The fucking hot dog being bitten, and then my hot dog of like what I could have gotten good. He asked me later on in life, like, why don't you just get your own shit, bro? Like my dad said, you can get what you want. But I just recently told him, I was like, bro, like that's probably because of the traumatic. Because you already know, mom was kind of like, man, if you're gonna be over here, you better not ask for shit. Don't ask for nothing. Like do this, whatever they serve you, you eat your that. So I was just kind of like, damn, let me get the cheap shit. So I got like the cheapest
Fucking
stuff, but
Richie served you half a hot dog apparently.
yeah, and I told dog. And like we shared popcorn too. I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah.
Best
That's
'90s thing.
crazy.
But that's going to be
That is
forever our
crazy.
story, the hot dog story.
Uh,
Yeah, see.
Fucking head hurts from
Hey,
laughing, bro. I freaking head hurts from laughing, bro.
but Juan always be saying that. Let me get a bite. Let me get a bite.
I remember it too, because I've been watching the podcast too, and how he was all like, we recorded like in tapes and all this. I remember recording in the little thumb drive MP3 players, like in the car, we'll put like the instrumentals and we'll be like in the MP3 player, like, yo, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you remember that.
What?
The little red ones, like the little thumb drive size, the MP3 players we used to have. I had one.
We used to record on that?
Yeah.
What? I don't remember this.
Yeah, we used to record on that. So like I wanted to bring that up. Like you didn't bring that up. Like we used to record on that shit too.
I remember. I remember. But it's gone from a whole journey, bro. Like I said, we progressed from what he said in cassettes to what we have now with like basically studio speakers and like a laptop or computer.
From a Walmart mic that was like $15 to a $300 studio mic. You know, like so we slowly started getting little by little and from a well, I went from a laptop to an actual computer, so to help me out see if it RAM, but I gotta get more RAM on it to run certain programs. So it's like
And I don't even know if you guys know, but Juan actually went to school for music, didn't you?
I went for music management because I wanted to get a degree, but I went for 1 year. I went for 1 year because after that year, I found out I was gonna have Jeremiah, and ever since then, I just ended up just getting a house, and so I had some money from my car accident. Like there was this car accident that I got into with my parents, and I had some money. With that money, I was going to school. But then my baby mama told me she was pregnant, and I was like, oh shit. So instead of going to school, I bought the house where I was sitting at. And so the house is paid off of now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not many 33-year-olds can say that they have a house that's paid off. So I think that's progress. So I was like, fuck school, I'll pay this house off. And well, Richie knows my journey of money. I'm always like, damn, nigga, I'm broke, but I got this though. You know, like some stupid shit. And I was just recently told him like my debt problems, and I was like, but in the past 2 weeks, I already paid this chunk off, and he was like, yeah, and that's pretty impressive. So I'm like not good with my money, but I'm good with my money. If that makes sense. So yeah,
I mean, money just like life has seasons, you know what I'm saying? There's good, there's bad, there's more, there's less. It's hotter, it's colder type stuff. So it's just like waves, like waves. It's like sometimes there's ups and there's downs. That's just money. That's why it's called currency. It's current like water.
Yep. No, I agree 100%, man. I've had to. I mean, Juan knew my first house that I had up in Buckeye, man. I worked day and night. I used to go to the hospital, and then from the hospital, I used to go work at this welding company. I used to come back all dirty from that welding place too. But you got to do what you got to do, man. And like I said, we're always put in that position of if we don't succeed, like we're gonna be getting the "I told you so" from mom, like, oh, I told you without me you ain't gonna do this and that. So like, fuck that. I'm gonna get 3 jobs if I got to. But I think that that's where yeah, I think that that's where we're kind of, in a way, like, I had things that I wanted to do too. Like I wanted to, like I used to mess around with music, but I wanted to, like, one of the biggest things I want to do is still is write books, write poetry, and like I love poetry. It's one of my favorite things. But when you're put in a predicament of like I got $4,000 worth of bills coming up next month, and like I didn't want to be a fucking welder. Now I'm like I'll be a welder because they get paid bank now. But when I was doing it, they got paid. Well, I mean, I guess it was a lot of money. I was getting paid like 23. But that shit sucked. Like I worked for Quincy Joyce. I was doing the train tracks, so I'd be on the supply beams, all that. And so now people are like, "Do you know how to do this?" Nope. But that's kind of like where I was kind of like, you got to know your worth, because I would work at the morgue, and then from the morgue I'd get out and go to work at the fucking welding company. From there, get out, still come home and be like, "Well, we'll get something to eat," you know. Um, but that was one of the biggest things, man. Like for me, like me and Juan, like I got kicked out obviously when I was 15. So Juan was still really little, but when I did live with my mom, like he'd go out and play with me. Like we'll go play football with the two white boys in our neighborhood, play basketball.
Nah,
I would
fucking
take them to
Jason
go.
and Michael.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, they got me into South Park, bro. I don't think I was supposed to be watching that at that age, but I was watching South Park.
Yeah, man. You
Wonder,
know,
I wonder what similar, what others, because you guys are a huge chunk apart, but I'm pretty sure you guys have some similarities from experience due to the same guy you guys growing up with your moms. You know what I mean? Like I wonder what, because
uh,
you're like, oh, I know what you're talking about, because you're like, you'll get yelled at for whatever or something like that. Like
Oh, I told you so. I was like,
yeah, I told you so.
that's what she was just doing to me outside right now, because like she was taking the kids from me. She was taking the kids from me at school, and she was just like, "You're not supposed to be rushing me. I'm helping you." I was like, "I wasn't rushing you. Like, I was just wondering what time you came because we were cooking dinner, and I wanted to take the kids." And she's like, "Wow, like without me, you wouldn't be able to take the kids to school." And I'm like, "I know that's why I'm asking you to take the kids to school." Like, I feel like she's just like kind of just trying to argue with me and tell me like a bunch of shit that she's there for me, but don't don't act like I don't know how to fucking say it. Like, how would you say it? Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, no, I think that like no, it's still good on mine. Hold on.
I was supposed to get a call, but I had to do not disturb on, so it's not coming through. But it also because I'm using the signal to do the video, but I also was about to get a call, but I had to do not disturb on, so it didn't come
Oh,
through. But that's what happened.
but
I got a call.
but
Sorry
is it
about that.
recording now?
yeah,
Yeah, we're good. Now
All right,
reset it back
cool.
on.
All right, so what I was gonna say is like I think growing up though, like Judy and I are only like a year and a half apart, 2 years apart, right? So growing up, like Judy and I would go to school together. My mom, like my mom always says Judy's my mom because she would cook, she would do this, like, you know. But 6 years apart, I mean, I used to have like wrestle with Juan and fucking throw him off the bed. Fucking broke my mom's house one time, gave him like 4 concussions.
wall.
But you know, I'm probably the reason
Oh,
why he has some kind of
snap.
ADHD. Um, but when I was there, like I said, I would get pizza. I would to go to Blockbuster and rent movies. Like, I was working since I was like 13, 14, so I would have money. But I would never be like, oh no, this is mine. Like, and it's kind of hard, like when you get kicked
Yeah,
out
you
to
were
to
nigga because
people
you took the PlayStation.
to huh?
I'm like, yeah, you were nigga. You were like, this is my PlayStation, and you took the PlayStation.
Well, that
It was
was
supposed to
different.
be ours.
That was mine.
Yo, you were supposed to take it for 1 weekend and then bring it back the next weekend, but you never brought it back.
I got custody. I got custody being the oldest. Uh, no, but it just was different, man. Like I think Juan and Judy got some type of abuse, yes, but at least they didn't get the ass beat. That was the biggest difference. I get my ass beat. And I think that was the biggest difference. Like, what's worse, like a physical abuse or mental? You know, um, and for me, I think that maybe the mental abuse is a lot worse. Because, like I said, I told you earlier, go take the phone to my mom. I'll tell her to go get out of here. Like, I learned in a really, really, I guess, young age. Like, yo, if my mom could do this to me, like somebody else is not my mom, what are they gonna do to me? So I kind of learned that really quick of just kind of like being like, I'm gonna do what I want to do no matter what. And it was funny because I was talking to April, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I wasn't even a bad fucking kid. Like, I was not patient. I spoke my mind, but I didn't sneak out the house. I didn't like roll around with gangs. I just want to go play basketball. That was my biggest sin, that I wanted to go play basketball, and that I talked a lot of shit. But it wasn't like I was bad. Like I wasn't like a person that was like gonna throw a shoe or like hit my parents or any of that. But I got to see a lot of stuff that Judy didn't see and that Juan didn't see. Like my dad would wake me up and be like, "Look what your mom is doing." I'm like, "Why am I the one being woken up for this shit?" Right? Like, why am I the one that has to go with this burden? And I think that the biggest difference was like, now we have the ability where I can talk to my brother every day, right? I can talk to my sister every day. But we learned how mom is. So when she starts saying, "Oh, Juan and you," we're like, "Cool, we don't want to hear it, peace." Or we'll call each other like, "Yo, mom's saying nope," because no matter what, we always hear the same thing. I never said that. Well, then I'm the bad one of this movie, and we're like, well, it's not a movie. It's life. We're not saying you're bad. We're just saying like, don't try to put us against each other, because now we know that we have to hold each other down. And that's the biggest thing that I think I learned not being so close to my mom, is that the fact that I can still try to hold Judy down, like because she's stressed from work or whatever, be like, "Look, I've been there. Being a boss sucks. Being a manager sucks. People gonna hate you. People are gonna, you're gonna be the worst. You're gonna have so much stress." I mean, she's already been to the hospital because of stress, right? Like, you don't need somebody else adding more stress to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that I've learned that. Like, I've learned if something's stressing me the hell out, I'm just gonna back up. So now I can be like, "Yo, I'm coming. If I come, cool. If I don't, don't wait up." Like, it's something that I've learned, that I think that little by little, like Judy's learning, Juan's learning, to kind of be more like, no, like, I'm gonna come today and be happy that you saw me, and I got shit to do tomorrow. But at the end of the day, like I told Juan, I'm like, you have the ability to do whatever you want. What's she gonna do? Be mad at you for a couple days? Oh well. She's still gonna, have to be there for you. It's not like if something happens to you, she's not gonna be there. Like, look at all the shit she did to me. I go to the hospital, when she finds out, she acts like, she's the best mom in the world, crying and shit. I'm like, why are you even here today? Like, how did you find out? You know?
No.
But there's certain things that you learn to keep private, and I think that that's one of the things that I wanted to, like, that I told Juan, that I told you, like, there's certain shit, just keep it private. The moment that you let people into that privacy, then they have the moment to judge, and then you can get mad, like, why are they saying this? Well, you gave them the ability to. Keep that shit private. Like, fuck it. If you have $1 to your name, you'd be like, "Nah, I'm not going. I'm sick." You know what I'm saying? Like, have that mentality. Like, like, "Nah, it's cool. I'm broke." Be like, "Nigga, you always broke." Nah, just be like, "I don't feel like doing it." Look at my life now to how it was back then. Vegas all the fucking time, drinking all the time. I'm paying for that shit now. You know what I'm saying? Now that I don't really drink, I don't go out, I don't do half the stuff, illegal stuff I used to do. But I'm paying for that shit now. You know what I'm saying? Juan knows we've been to Vegas. Hey, we were on a plane once.
Wow.
I feel like, and I told Judy this before. I was like, I didn't really grow up with Judy, so I don't know anything really much about her. But this last time we saw her, it was really cool. Well, we went to that trip to the where did we go to Munch Park, Picacho Peak,
Yeah. No, it was Cottonwood. We
Cottonwood,
went to Cottonwood.
Nebraska, some shit like that. I don't fucking know where. It was just cold, bro. We were playing snow that day. She basically drove me back from Cottonwood back to Phoenix, and I came with her. And I don't know who's with us. Was it me and you?
It was David. David was with us too, cause he has
Yeah, yeah.
we went to play the snow up, and we didn't go
Oh
up
yeah,
north.
yeah, yeah.
We went somewhere else because Eddie's friend told us we were supposed to go to Munn's Park because Baron's mom had told us like, yeah, there's snow up here up to 6 feet. But and then Eddie ran into a friend of his at the gas station.
When we were putting gas.
At the gas station, he was like, "No, we just came from Whoop Wap. There's snow there too, but we got there. It wasn't that impressive, but we still got the chance to see snow and play in the snow. So I was like, cool.
So yeah, I was with because we had the kids, and Juan took us to the meetup point, which is Judy's house and the gas station. But then you were like, "Hey, Rich, I got more room in my car." So I went with you guys up to wherever the fuck we ended up. I don't know where we're at. But on the way
Yeah.
back, I came with Judy all the way back, and I was like, "That's when we were talking." Finally got to like, you know what, Judy? Like, I didn't really grow up with you, so I really don't really know. And then we just started talking stuff like that. And she's really good vibes. She told me, I don't know if she'll tell you this. No, I'll wait for her to tell you. She'll tell you. But yeah, she started telling me something about her life, whatever. And I was like, that's so interesting. But one of the things that did stick out was, I think, one insight that was for her is when I was telling her my recent findings in Buddhist teachings. And she was like, that makes a lot of sense. So I hope, as you're saying, she gets more stressful. Maybe she might look into that because that can help her like find her Zen when she needs to. But one thing she told me is that she recorded on her camera, her security phone, so her security for her home, little orbs that fly around her house. And I was like, no, inside of her house. Like little orbs. And she's like, what is that? And I was like, your dirty ass lint. I was telling Eddie or her, ready. And he was like, no, well, they're like, no, that's an orb. And I was like, it is an orb, but I just can't tell what it is. But yeah, it was really cool to like establish a connection. I like that she travels a lot. And that's one of my passions too. I travel a lot too. So I'm waiting for the day for us to travel. But they like casino and drinking, and I can't keep up with them. So I really don't know if that's a good idea.
I can't get mad at me. Oh, come on. I was like, nah. But then I'm like, hey, I wake up at like 5, 6 in the morning. Like, I got ready to go eat some breakfast or what? We're just really getting back from the casino. Like, yeah, like the whole day just started. Like, let's go. Like, what the fuck? So I'm more of a fucking morning person than a night owl by like 9.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say just the other day, I was talking to mom because we were talking about mom earlier, just because I thought it was funny. Because so you used to bring me movies all the time, which I was like, this is true because mom would leave me alone by myself, like all the time. Like you could ask that movie. He's come over one time with a couple of friends, and we had a kickback over there at mom's because I was always by myself. So like I brought it up to her, and she'll be like, no, no, I
Damn.
never left you alone. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, like, I remember, and then you would have made me collect money from, like, there was a little hole in the window because I was locked inside the house sometimes. I had no key or anything, so I would collect money from a little window. And then David would have a key and he'll bring me pizzas and like a stack of movies and shit. And then David would be like, did you watch those movies? And I'd be like, yeah. And he'll throw me a random quote and then I used to finish the quote, or I used to be like, "Oh, that's from this scene in this movie." So I'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like he would always quick like trust me, bro, because that's all I did was watch movies all fucking day, and he'd be like, "Juan, la 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 la." I can't do it now because I don't even watch TV as much before, but he'd be like, "La la la," this and that quote. He'd be like, "Oh, that's from Step Brothers when he was doing this, and then he did that." He'd be like, "Oh, he was wearing a white suit." He'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like like because that's all I would
Yo,
do.
we need to go to like a retro trivia night. You guys would whip my ass because I don't watch movies or TV shows. I just don't. I don't find interest in it, and I just get bored and I just leave. But to imagine you guys go to like a trivia game, that would be crazy.
One of the movies that I think I got Juan multiple times was a movie called The Iron Monkey. We watched that movie like so many fucking times. Um, thing that's what it's called, right? Iron Monkey.
I believe so. Let me look it up.
For those that don't know what that is, what the hell is that?
It's a
I think it's a
VHS
Kung Fu
movie. It's
movie.
martial arts. It's a martial arts
Oh,
movie.
okay.
But it's called the Iron Monkey. I think it was called the Iron Monkey. But yeah, man, my mom they've been leaving us alone, and that's the thing that I don't understand
Both.
why they would get so upset of us like if we were to leave ours alone, right? Like we have more technology. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that bald guy. They did like the Shaolin shit.
yeah,
Yeah, because he did more. He was in Mortal Kombat too. I think he did the Kung Lao.
yeah. So yeah,
Sounds dope. I like Kung Fu movies.
now if Juan were to leave the kids alone, she'll be like, "Oh no!" It's like, motherfuckers, y'all used to leave us alone all the time, like all the time, you know. And then we did all right. We used to get a bunch of scary movies, hang out, you know. But there is a huge gap, man, and you know, like I was telling you when we were doing the podcast, I was like, that's cool that at least you kind of were there with Juan and vice versa. Like you guys kind of held each other down through all that time, you know. But I mean, shit, I don't think there was like a good because I didn't talk to Juan until he came to stay at my house for like he stayed like in Buckeye. He came and visited, like I picked him up or something. But or when they got in the accident, um, because I
I
wasn't
was like
talking
13.
to them, huh?
I was like 13.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was like
like the accident when that happened, I don't know who the fuck called. Somebody called me. Um, and I remember I was living, you know, with an ex at the time, and I got to the hospital and everyone was there, dude. Like my mom was there, my dad, my tia Rebecca, Anna. Was it Anna? No.
Yadi?
yeah. And there was Anna
Yeah,
and me.
the fuck. What's his name? I don't know who was there, but
Others.
Juan was taken to a different hospital. And so finally, like he got airplaned to a different fucking hospital. And I remember that like my mom was freaking out, and she was like, "Oh, your brother's dead," and I'm like, "What?" And then I think Juan called me. Somebody fucking called me. I think Juan was like, "You need me to, you need to pick me up." And I was like, what the hell? And like, it was kind of cool the fact that, like, yeah, I didn't really talk to them, but when something like that happened, like, they didn't call Judy, like, they called me. And I was kind of like, hell yeah. But I went to go see everybody, and then my dad was probably the one that hurt the most, man. Like he wasn't just like physically in pain, but you could just tell. Like you could tell how heartbroken he was. But I didn't know like exactly what happened until later on when they said that Juan was actually on a tree and they brought his ass down and he was like lifeless. You know what I'm saying? And like I guess for like my dad seeing that shit is very traumatic, right? So I didn't know that side of it. I just know Juan was the one that flew out the car, broke the window, but he was the first one out of the hospital. Like they called and I went to go pick him up, and then they didn't even release him because obviously like we don't look alike that much, so they didn't know like they didn't think that he was my brother. They were like, "No, we can't," and I was like,
That's
"Yo, we
how
about
Brown had come and shed your brother. Like,
yeah." So I
Is
was
that what
like,
he said?
"We
That's
we
what they
about to."
said? He said, yeah,
Yeah,
he said, Juan said Juan said that the nurse said,
this top brown handsome man can't be your brother.
nah. He said the nurse was like, "I don't believe it. You guys don't look nothing alike. You're handsome." I was like, "I know," but
Yeah, right.
I mean, I
no,
wasn't
but
there, so then I'm gonna believe what I wasn't there, so I'm gonna believe what you guys tell me, but like, I
nah.
can't tell
Juan,
because you're fucking with me or not. I'm like, what?
no, Juan was
I'm like,
fucked up. He had a scar. He had a huge ass fucking
no.
cut. But my mom, she's like, no, your brother, she was going hysterical. Yeah, she's always hysterical, but when she was at the hospital, like, they almost tranquilized her ass. Like, she was going crazy. And she's like, your brother's dead. And I'm like, I just talked to him. And she's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, I literally just got off the phone with him. Want me to call him? I think I called Juan, and he talked to my mom, and they were talking. I'm like, I'm gonna go pick him up. And she's like, oh, but just to like kind of see all of it, and I was just kind of like, well, I'm gonna go pick up my brother. It's cool. Like, I drove about 19 miles to the hospital. I ran like 9 fucking red lights because I used to have a Tiburon. And I ran every fucking red light. Didn't get stopped by one fucking cop at all. Like, because it was fucking late at night. The first thing that Juan says, I lost my PSP. Not,
Very good, bro.
not my body hurts. I've been paid. He said, I lost my PSP. I was like, what the fuck? So
I
got
just got
him.
in that bitch, bro. Well, no, that shit sucked because I just got in that shit and then well, mom was all pissed. She was like, fuck that. Like, I'm not going to buy you another one. You're irresponsible for losing. I was like, wow. Fuck, like, I flew out of a car. But then, like, later on that, I got like 64 stitches on my arm. So I was just like, ah, damn, like, I just remember being in the car. It was Anna, Sammy, Yadi, Mexicans, all the Lujans. It was all the Lujans, and then it was everybody in the front, my Nina, well, my tia Rebecca, she's not my Nina, she's your Nina. My mom, dad in the front, and I just remember being in the back, and I was to the left, so I just remember being on the left side, and the tire popped, and my dad started swerving, and he's like, I heard him, go the thing I said, and it just started swerving, and he hit the car. And then I just like everything was just slow as fuck, bro. Like it was crazy. I was just seeing the car flip, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then I felt my head hit the window because I saw the window, bro. And I had a big ass knot in my head for like a year. So I hit the window, and then next thing you know, I was flying, and I was seeing the car rolling, and I was like, "Well, that doesn't look right." You know, like I just blacked out. Like I blacked out. And then next thing you know, like I just hear my dad screaming at me. Cause like I guess like you said, I was dead for who knows how long. They said they were looking for me for quite a while, and I was just like I just came back, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then he was just like, oh, like come on, you gotta get up, and like, are you okay? And I was like I'm alright, like stand me up, like I'm laying on some shit, like I gotta get up, like stand me up. And like as soon as I got up, 2 fucking ambulance just tackled me down like boom, they're like don't fucking move. And they fucking put me on the bench and then I got choppered off to the fucking I think it was right here on the east side, that big old building with the white. I can't remember the name. I think it's like Maricopa or something. Yeah, they took me there because that's the only hospital that does internal bleeding testing.
That's
So
where
I
I
was
was born. Yeah,
yeah,
I was born at that hospital.
so it was me and Chavez. I just remember like waking up again. Just you wake up and you're going through the hallway and they're pushing you on the chair and you're like, what, bro? Like in and out, in and out. And I woke up, they're stitching me, and I look up and I just see Chavez like, hey, what up, Juan? Like, I'm in here too. I was just like, God damn. He was like, yeah, I was like, damn, for like at the time Chavez came to visit us, but this fool didn't leave me alone. Like he was always with me, and sometimes he was being annoying, bro. Like, he was just too much because he really had like ADHD, and he was like off the wall sometimes. So I'd be like, fuck, bro, like, why did I get stuck with out of everybody? Like, I got stuck with this fucker. Like, whatever, like, he's like, I got stitches too. And then I'm like, don't move. Like, I just heard the nurse, like, don't move. And I was like, what? It's like, we're stitching up your arm. And I looked, and I had, like, my arm was, like, split, like, wide open. You can see, like, the bone
Mm-hmm.
in my shoulder. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? And then they finally let me go. And then, yeah, after that, it was just a whole year of recovery. And then after that shit happened, they told me I had cancer. So I was just like, what the fuck, bro? They're telling me I had lung cancer, but I had like a bunch of mucus in my lungs. So for a whole year, It was my freshman year, bro. I was straight off of an accident. I came there like, you never come to school. I was like, dude, I've been in the hospital for like 3 months. Like, so I technically passed freshman year with flying colors. That's why my mom says like, Juan's the smartest one, but I'm like, bro, like they gave me all those great grades because I was in an accident. I wasn't really there. You know what I mean? So like, I wasn't really in school. Like, she doesn't understand that. She thinks I physically was at school, but I was at PT. I was like, I wasn't there because of physically I couldn't be there. I was also stuff with crutches and shit. Like I couldn't walk with my backpack. But it was cool because I had people carrying my stuff. But like, yeah, it's very cool.
Good and bad.
Yeah, good and bad. But then it sucked because I was trying to like, oh, time to take the stitches. I was starting to feel better, not like sore anymore. And that's when they were like, well, you have cancer. So I was like, fuck, dude. They told me like around December that I had cancer. And I spent all my freshman year like people were just saying that I was depressed and shit, and I was just like, what can I say? You know, like I'm fucking 13 with cancer, so I'm gonna die by Christmas. Like, can't really say much. You know, I'm like, it's just living, just being life. Um, but that's how I got my PSP back. I got my PSP back because mom and
He
dad felt
became
bad for me, so
he became a Make a Wish Foundation kid and shit.
basically, so they gave my PSP back and I was fucking playing that shit. But then we went to the last doctor's appointment and they ended up telling me that I didn't have anything. I just had a fucking like, well, the story. Back when I was little, I was always sick. So it was just all the mucus that I was like congested in my lungs, and it was just stuck in there that it hardened up. So they had to put like a tube down my throat and like suck it all out. So I went through a procedure when I was like 14. And it was funny because the doctor was like, don't let him eat for the next 24 hours. So I was like, fuck, man, let's go to Little Dragon. Not Little Dragon, it was the Golden Nugget. Fucking burrito back because that shit was still open. I was like, let's go to the Golden Nugget.
He said, "Fuck that."
Yeah, so we're gonna go to some Golden Nuggets. I'm like, just tight.
No,
You
yeah,
know, good
like,
and bad and everything.
huh?
Good and bad and everything. You know what I mean? Good and bad and everything. That's
There
fucking
is,
crazy.
bro.
I know he had cancer. I'm like, ah.
You you know
Yeah,
you
he
know
has free cancer.
the crazy part of it though is when I went to go get him from the hospital, I didn't get Chavez.
Who the
I
fuck
just
got Chavez?
I
My dad had a good one.
Yeah, I didn't get him, bro. He had a cast in his arm and shit. But I told Juan, let's go, motherfucker. We did. But funny part, like, it's not funny, but like we all go through stuff. But I remember that even like Juan, man, like he got all his teeth removed one time. And that dude was laying in my mom's bed and his fucking face was like this, bro. And he was like in so much pain. I'm like, damn. I'm like, that sucks. I was like, I didn't go through that. Like, whoop me every day. It's cool. This dude look like he about to
Yeah.
like die. But like I said,
Well, because I had all my wisdom teeth. 3 of them grew in right, and then the top left one grew in sideways this way. So it was starting to push on my teeth. And you already know my teeth were already fucked up. I used to have braces for like 4 or 5 years. So I had braces for a long ass time. And then, so getting that wisdom to get pushed out, and I was like, fuck it. I was when I had just started working at UPS and I was working at somewhere else, Shake Shack. I was working at Shake Shack. So I just remember they're like, yeah, you can remove this one, but once you remove that one, this one's gonna start forcing this one over here. How about you just remove all four? And I was like, nah, I don't want to. But mom being mom, I was like, I mean, you're already here. You got the insurance. You might as well remove them all. I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. You might as well remove them all. So I just sat there and removed them all. But that procedure was crazy, bro, because I woke up from that shit, like in the middle of that shit. Did I ever tell you?
Mm.
No, so like, I guess they took these three out, the ones that was like, no problem. But they got to the one with the problem one, when they broke it, I woke up. Like, I heard that, and I was like, it just woke me up. I was like, what the fuck? And I just see the doctor on top of me. He's like, whoa, 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 like, don't move, like, I'm not done. He fucking broke, and I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, oh, so then he's like, nurse. he got three nurses and they started holding me down. And I was like, I'm like trying to move and shit. And I just kept here. Like, don't move. Like, I'm about to give you your stitches. If I fuck up, like, I'm gonna get you really hard. So don't move. So I'm just like sitting there and shit. But obviously, like, they always tell you, like, go to the restroom, chill for an hour before you leave. And, like, we went there and I sat down there and my mom's like, are you okay to go? I'm like, yeah, I'm good to go. Like, like, after all that traumatic shit, all my adrenaline was pumping. But I was like, I'm good to fucking go. Like, fuck this place. But I was still going to work like that, man, because, I didn't have PTO at that time either, so I was like, fuck, like I still gotta go to work. I had just got hired at Shake Shack, so I was like, Shake Shack, fucking flipping burgers, like fucking flipping burgers and all this. But that was a crazy experience.
I
Yeah,
can't relate to. I can't relate to none of this shit. I never had a surgery. I never broken a bone in my body, bro. Like I never had any
bro.
surgery. So that's fucking crazy, bro.
I had like six of
I
them.
woke up from my appendix when they did my appendix. Because they like when I got my appendix, my dad had to take me out of school. But then since he didn't no, first it was my uncle, my tío Vico, and since he didn't have parental rights, he couldn't take me out of school. And I had told my mom that night that shit happened, I told her my side hurts. And she thought I was just bullshitting to not go to school. So not only did she beat the shit out of me that morning, but she sent me to school. So while we're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, I collapsed and they sent me to the nurse. So the nurse was like, I need someone to pick him up. So my Tío Vico came and they were like, no, you're not his parent. We can't get you. So then he drove to my dad's job because he used to work at GCR right by PTCO. My dad comes, gets me out of school, and we go to the hospital. And they're like, yo, he needs emergency surgery, right? So they're like, oh, you got to sign in. My dad's like, yo, well, I'm his stepdad, like, and they're like, no, we need his biological dad. I'm like, nigga, we don't know who he is. Like, shit. And then so he's like, well, we need the mom. So we got back in my dad's truck, drove all the way to my mom's job at some fucking
Look at we
laundromat,
got back.
picked up my mom. The whole way she's crying, I'm so sorry, but I didn't believe you, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, fuck, they're going to give me surgery. And I'm like in elementary school. I'm not even in like middle high school, I'm in elementary, bro. When we get there, they start prepping me for surgery, right? They give me the gas. That shit's not knocking me out because of the pain. Not knocking me. That's how I knew had a high tolerance for drugs, because it wasn't doing shit. They gave me a shot, wasn't doing shit. He's like, I don't know what to do. We need to like get surgery. So they numbed the area, and the last thing I heard was the doctor say, "Oh shit." That's the last thing I heard him say. Then I woke up and it hurt so bad, bro. Even to breathe, it hurt. And they're like, your appendix burst inside of you. So all that poison and all that shit. So I was like, huh? And the first person I saw was my nana. My nana was there. And they get you up to walk. And so as I'm walking, like it hurts, right? And there was a little girl like next to me. And she had a Nintendo. And I was like, oh, that's cool. She's like, you want to play Nintendo? She was going through a procedure. Um, and I was like, yeah, and I start like it takes your mind off of shit, right? Like I was playing with Nintendo, like with her and shit, and they were like, hey, you can't be in here. Like I didn't know like what that little girl had, and the mom was just happy like for someone to be playing with the daughter, and it was a girl. It was a girl, and she was bald, bro. I didn't know that she had like leukemia or something like that. Um, and so when I was getting released, I was gonna go say bye, and the mom was crying, and the little guy passed, and I was like, oh shit, and that's kind of where I was like, damn, like I'm cool, like yeah, I'm hurt, but like, what do you mean, like she died? Like what the hell? Like I was just playing with her a few days ago, and so I got back home. And my mom, being my mom, still apologizing, crying. She's like, I forgot. Like, she thinks it's funny now that she beat the shit out of me and sent me to school when I was literally dying. But we used to have these arcs in our house, and we used to always go and hit them. So me being me, I went up on my butt and I ripped my cut. So like if you see my incision for my appendix, it looks like a fucking lightning bolt. So they had to re-stitch me when my mom and dad were at work and my nana was there. And I was bleeding, bro. And again, my Tío Vico, he was drunk. That shit sobered him up so quick. He put me in his fucking truck. He had to turn that shit on with his fucking finger, bro. And he gets me in the fucking truck, man. Drives me to my dad's job. And we go right back. And my dad's like, wait, they're not going to do shit. Because, you know, what happened with my surgery. So they go back to get my mom. And she's yelling the fuck out of me, bro. Because I did what I did. And I'm like, I'm fucking 12, 13. I just was like, hey, you know. But, you know, I had to go get restitched. And I remember that, like, Martin had barely started learning how to drive. And we literally escaped from the hospital. Like, we escaped. He picked me up and we dipped. I dipped with the fucking IV pole and everything. Cops came. It was hilarious. Cops came to my Nina's house. They grabbed me. They called my mom. She always beat the shit out of me. But like those experiences like that, bro. Like I think that's what molds us. And like Juan had all those experiences he's had. I think it's gonna mold him to like to understand, like, oh shit, like, yeah, we've been through a lot, you know, like my dad ran me over, my appendix, like I fell out the freeway, but like I think like we're still fucking here. We're like cockroaches. Like fuck. But like this last surgery that I got, which I showed you guys all my incisions, but the last surgery I got, bro, I did the same thing. I got up and I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I was like, high five, and I tore this one up. I was like, oh shit. And I was like, so it reminded me of that. And I'm like, fuck, I just don't learn, you know, but
Wait. What was the most recent surgery? What did you get now? What was
the
it
one I
again?
showed you,
The
the
gallbladder?
one that I showed you, they removed the gallbladder.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Damn, you're off.
So
What the hell?
they were supposed to remove the gallbladder, and the lady's like, "Oh, it's gonna be a simple procedure." Blah blah blah. When she got in there, I already had all the stones that were in the gallbladder had already leaked out, so they had to make 6 different incisions to get them out and then get the bag out. So she's all like, when I went to go get the bag out, we did the incision thinking, you know, a normal incision, but it was so big that it tore more. So there's one that I have that's kind of like looks like it's ripped, and that's because of the bag. So that one was the one that hurt the most to like heal. But I have one right below like my rib. That motherfucker, it's the smallest one I have, and it's the one that took the longest for it not to hurt. Like every time I breathe, it would hurt. Every time I moved to the side, it would hurt. And so I was like, fuck, I'm like, I'd rather have these cuts than this one. This one hurts like a motherfucker. You know? But going again, like you don't learn. Like me and April would always mess around. And the first thing she did, do fresh out of surgery, she's like, oh yeah, boom, dude, she socks me right in my fucking side. Bro, I was like, I'm on the floor. She's like, I'm so sorry. You know, and like we laugh about shit like that now, but I was like in that time, like what I was getting to with Juan falling out and being on a tree. This last surgery that I had, it wasn't until after the surgery that I was able to sit down with April and tell her, like, yo, this is the first time out of all the times, this is the first time that I was actually scared. And she's all like, I could tell. That's why I told your sister. I'm like, I was actually pretty scared. I was scared for the surgery, but I saw myself when they were waking me up. Like, the lady's like, oh yeah, it's just air. And it reminded me of my surgery. I was like, this shit don't work on me. Like, trust me, they've done this before. And it did. I don't know what the fuck they gave me, but that shit worked. It knocked me the fuck out. But when they were waking me up, I saw myself in the tunnel. Like there is a fucking tunnel. Like I saw myself in the tunnel and I saw people that just grabbing me, bro. And I'm just like punching and kicking and people were grabbing me. So then, you know, I woke up and the first thing I told lady was like, what's up? And she's like, welcome back. I'm like, where'd I go? And she's like, yeah, your surgery. I don't remember anything them taking me to my room, but April was there. Like she met me at the when I was coming out of surgery. Don't remember that. She was the first one to see all my incisions before I even saw them. And she was all like, I saw it. She's like, I had to look away. I was like, it was that bad? Like, I don't remember any of it. And I told her, I was like, I think I'm going to hell when I die. I'm like, because everything was super peaceful. Everything, like, it was peaceful until they woke me up, that I was coming to my senses, that I was fighting. I was like, and I was fighting, like, legitimately, like, elbows and punching and kicking. And I saw all these people that I didn't recognize. Like, I didn't recognize any of them, but they were people. And I was just fighting, fighting, fighting. And she's all like, why do you think you're going to hell? I'm like, because legitimately I saw the tunnel. Like, I saw what I saw. And she's all like, well, maybe you were just fighting, like, to stay alive. Like, you're fighting because you need to be here. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, but ever since that moment, I'm like, I haven't been too afraid, I guess, of anything. Like, I've been, like, more open to trying things and doing things. And, like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go do this. Started lifting again. I was like, whatever. The worst happens, the worst happens. And, like, literally, bro, like, when I was in the, like, recovery stage, they were pumping me with like, through the IV with, like, narcotics. I was taking, I forget, Dilaudid, which is a little bit stronger than morphine because morphine wasn't working. And they would give me the Dilaudid, and when my mom and everyone was there, I felt like too much of a presence, like too thick. I was like, yo, like I didn't want nobody there, like nobody. Like, I didn't want April there, like, I didn't want nobody there, right? I felt just like that when I was by myself. I felt like a calm, like, presence. Like, it was weird. Like, I wanted to be by myself. But then I found myself wanting more of that Dilaudid because I would take it every 4 hours. So, like, 3.5 hours in, I'll ask for it. Like, hey, I need it. Like, I need it. And so what the doctor started doing, he gave me oxycodone and Dilaudid. And I was telling April that while I was awake, I was fine. As soon as I closed my eyes, I would see people in my room. Like, I see people in my room. Weren't talking, they weren't saying shit, they were just in my room. But I felt peaceful. It was weird, bro. Like, there was a weird feeling. Like, I felt calm, peace. Like, they were mean no harm. And I saw one gentleman, like, next to my bed. And I'm like, I would turn and sleep towards where I saw the gentleman. It felt peaceful. And I could see them clear as day, bro. Like, if the lights were on, like, I could, and I would sleep. And as soon as I wake up, like, I would feel like that presence, like I needed to be knocked the fuck out. Like, it was weird. And then finally, I went to the bathroom to take a shower, and I saw all my cuts. And I was like, what the fuck is this purple shit? Because I had this purple shit. I'm like, I was thinking of seeing, like, stitches. I had no stitches. And they're like, no, we stitched you from the inside out, and we glued your skin together. So that purple shit is all glued. Don't remove it. But once, you touch it, you're kind of like, oh, shit, you know? But, when I saw that, I was like, oh, fuck. Dude, I got out the bathroom, and there was a lady and her daughter. And, you're in a robe, so your ass is hanging out. Like, I got out, and they were there, and they're like, hey. And I was like, I looked at them, and she's like, oh, my God, sorry, we're in the wrong room. I had like 3 or 4 families go into my room saying it was the wrong room. It was the wrong room. It was the wrong room. I'm like, the fuck? But then I started cutting off the Dilaudid, bro, and I started feeling really, like, shaky and, like, panicky all the time. And I was like, yo, like, I need it. And the doctor was like, hey, man, he's all like, if we give you this too long through your IV, it's going to start eating your vein. Like, it's going to start eating your veins. And he's all, so I got to move your fucking pick to this side because this vein's gone already. So they removed it and they put it on this side. And I was like, it's cool. Like, I'm not in pain. And I was in pain, but I was like, I'm not in pain. It's cool. Like, I'm fine. Right. And little by little, like, those people I was seeing, bro, were like going away. And I was like, but it was weird because I would have that taste in the back of your mouth. Like, I needed it. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm fucking junking out right now. Like, I'm fucking going through withdrawals. Right. So then I was like, I'm not very spiritual. I'm not. And I was just like, yo, man, I'm like, you've always held me down. I'm like, every time I've been through a dark place in my life or like I needed something, you always sent something my way and everything was okay. I'm like, this is one of those moments. I'm like, I want to go home. I'm like, I miss my daughter. I miss my wife. I want to go home. Like, I don't care what I got to go through, what pain I got to endure. I got to go home. I'm like, I have to. So my mom came with Judy and Eddie. They were all there, bro. And they start massaging each other. Like, my mom starts massaging Judy and my dad. And I'm like, I have a real strong energy as it is. I'm sick. I'm hurt. I'm like, and you guys are healing each other in my presence of that, right? The next day, bro, I got discharged. I felt great. All the little people went away. My dad couldn't walk, and Judy ended up in the hospital. And I was like, I told y'all motherfuckers. I told you. Don't play with people's energy. Because I was like, what are you guys doing? They even asked the lady for lotion so they could like rub each other. I'm like, yo, like, I believe in your aura and your thing. And right now, I have a lot of people that are visiting me that are not real. I'm like, I'm opening up these fucking portals that are not real. I'm having conversations with people that are not there. And it's so hard to like explain it to like April. Like, they weren't there, but they were there. Like, I could literally have conversations with these people. I'm like, and I felt at peace. Like, I felt comfortable. I wasn't scared.
I get that because I remember one thing I didn't tell you that I finally thought about after the first podcast for me, part one. I mean, like, what's something traumatic that you went through? And I was like, I remember when I was in high school and I OD'd on pills. I didn't have people in my room, but I was getting close to like my heart rate was really low. But I got that sense of peace, even though it was very calm and very peaceful. I always had the feeling like a presence telling me you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay. I didn't see anybody, but I felt that presence, and I was like, I'm going to be all right. I know I'm gonna be all right. And my brothers and my mom was looking at me, and I'm trying to convey them, but I took pills that were a downer, so it lowered my heart rate a lot. So I'm trying to tell them, but I'm fucking speaking like I'm on lean and shit. Like, and my brother's like, "Are you okay?" And I'd be like, "I can head now." He's like, "All right, let me hear you beatbox real quick." And I'm like I couldn't do shit, bro. And he's like, "You all right?" I was like, "I felt okay," but when I was getting, that's when I was coming back. When I was in the deep end, I felt like just a sense of like I didn't feel my body anymore. I didn't feel my body anymore, so it was just peaceful. I was just awareness. That's all I was at that time, and that's when I learned that I was like, when I came back, I was like, that's how you got to watch who you care about, because not everybody cares about you. Because people that I was like the cool kids, because we did raps, we had a lot of attention and shit. The kids, they were like, they wanted the cheese meal, the gossip. What happened? What happened? But the people who just stayed around, they're like, hey, like, if you need me, bro, I'll be there for you, type shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's when I learned that, like, watch you keep around your energy. But with that said, I mean, I know we gotta go. The food right there is already ready. We're about to go eat, and my battery's dying. So, did you want to wrap up saying anything?
Yeah, man. I definitely want to probably do this again. I'm gonna see how everything came out with the audio and everything. But if you guys have time tomorrow, I'm free tomorrow. We can record more. I'll be able to go over there, probably do some hot
He
dogs.
says, yeah, he's free after 2. We're down with the hot dogs. There's a basketball court nearby too, and I brought basketball stuff this time. We want to knock it out that too as well.
Yeah, and then we can
Before
review how
and
the
then yeah,
podcast turns out. And
do another one if you want. And then I have an idea what I want to do when you're here.
cool.
All
All right, bro.
right. Talk to
All
you
right,
later, bro.
Bye, everybody.
peace out.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.